The art of burlesque is perhaps considered old-fashioned in the day and age of stripping and abundant porn, but it has seen a resurgence in popularity. And coming up is the 10th annual Toronto Burlesque Festival. It features burlesque artists from across the globe. Joining us this evening is Coco Framboise, the creative director of the Toronto Burlesque Festival. Welcome to What She Said.
Well, thank you for having me.
Now, before we get to the actual festival, let's first touch on why burlesque has been controversial.
Well, I think what makes this art form controversial is the nudity aspect of it. Although burlesque, the burlesque revival, typically we do not see full nudity. It's very, very, very rare that anyone would actually expose anything, and it's generally frowned upon. But I think that all humans are quite curious about the human body, and we're a little bit afraid of it as well. And so I think that's what makes it controversial for people to think of themselves as coming to an audience where there will be a level of nudity on stage. I think people have that push and pull within themselves as to whether or not it's okay at first. And then once they come and see what's on stage, they tend to have a very different opinion.
Well, I love burlesque. I've been
As
to,
do I.
I've been to the festival. I have seen it in Europe. I have seen it in Las Vegas. I have seen it in New Orleans. And you know, my husband and I really enjoy going and watching. And for me, it's the art form. It's sort of the being covered is more tantalizing than full nudity to us. And it's the dance and the performance aspect. So how would you explain to someone how and why it's different from stripping?
Well, I think that these two art forms, I think that exotic dance is very different and tends to have a bit of a different purpose, and it serves a different audience for different reasons. I tend to find that burlesque has more in common with theater, although I don't distance myself from exotic dance brothers and sisters. I just think that this particular art form, we are able to respond almost immediately to changes in what's going on in the news, almost as quickly as, say, stand-up comedy can. We are able to address issues. We can be satirical. We can be cheeky. We can be provocative erotically. We can be provocative politically. And many artists are using all of those ways to communicate, to express, to enjoy sexuality, to challenge outdated social ideas. And I think it's a really important and vivid art form, as well as being incredibly entertaining and sometimes quite sexy.
And inclusive.
And inclusive, yes.
So
we end up seeing so many different body types, so many different genders. I tend to find that it's very welcoming of all kinds of people.
Mm-hmm. I think I was, to be truthful, I was surprised to see some more voluptuous women up there, but I enjoyed their performances because I thought, well, that could be me, because I related to that.
I think it's really important to see all kinds of bodies, bodies that are abled, bodies that are differently abled. I think it's important to see all different kinds of bodies to be able to see ourselves and to see the diversity of life on stage, and it helps people develop an acceptance of themselves.
Absolutely. So this resurgent in interest over the last, 10, 15 years, where do you think it's most pronounced? North America, Europe?
As somebody who's toured around the world, I've participated in shows across Europe, across North America, and Australia, and I have found that the scenes are all extremely vivid in all of those places. I haven't had an opportunity to visit Asia or South America yet, or to see what is happening in the African scene, but I know that those scenes are also quite busy.
Tell us about the festival and what you hope to achieve in terms of diversity, body positivity, and an inclusive definition of beauty.
I really invite people to come and witness the spectrum of what we have to offer. There are so many different body types present in our casting this year, and we strive to have diversity all years. This year, our lead show is a retrospective, looking back on iconic works But in the festival proper, from July 20th to 23rd, we're moving through. Our first show offers a little bit of a sample of everything that the other shows have to offer. And the following shows, we move from work that is really campy and provocative, witty, innovative, to stuff that is more classically gorgeous. You know, the costume operas, the big props, everything dripping in rhinestones, to work that is quite challenging, that will discomfit people. And I think it provides an interesting roller coaster of experiences. And if people are willing to come on this journey with us, I think they'll find that there is a lot of beauty in the world. And the more you see, the more you're able to see. And I believe that the more we are able to appreciate beauty in each other, the kinder people become.
So it's a 4-day extravaganza.
It is.
So if you have never seen burlesque before, would you say the retrospective show would be the one to start with?
I would say that our opening night on July 20th would be a great place to start, because that show shows a little bit of everything. It shows more seasoned artists,
so to speak.
Yes. It shows more seasoned artists. It shows brand new artists. It shows a variety of styles. That particular show is really a tapas platter of what can be expected across the rest of the programming. Mm-hmm. And that is a great introduction.
What's your style?
My style has evolved over the years. I started out primarily as a classic burlesque artist, so I was using a lot of ostrich feather fans, a lot of corsets and rhinestones. One of my signature pieces is dancing on top of a giant candy apple. People see that image from me a lot, and I love that prop, and it is so much fun to dance on that prop. And over time, as I've evolved as a performer and just as a woman, I have a lot more to say. So my pieces, my portfolio now includes works that are quite political. Some pieces are quite pointed, and some are silly and madcap. I allow myself a lot of room to play.
So and it's not risk-free. Tell us about what happened on stage at a recent festival.
There was an artist who came up on stage. Her name is Obscura, and she was performing just the most decadent, classic fan dance with a gorgeous headdress. She came out on stage, and early on in her number, she dislocated her shoulder right on stage, but somehow had the commitment to continue her piece and make it look like nothing had happened. And there were a couple of us who knew that perhaps something was a little bit off, but she completed this gorgeous, gorgeous work. And it was breathtaking. Came off stage and we whisked her away in an ambulance.
The show must go on.
The show must go on.
That is absolute commitment. So where can people find out more and buy tickets?
People can find out more by visiting TorontoBurlesqueFestival.com. You can see a comprehensive schedule of all of our shows, as well as our workshops and after parties. We have classes with a number of the star faculty. And so that's a really exciting opportunity that happens only once a year.
Oh, so you can take a class. I could maybe learn.
Yes, of course you can learn. I mean, there are classes all year in Toronto, various places. But this particular workshop series is called Burlesque University. And you have an opportunity to learn with some of our stars, including Hard and Ready, one of the kings of Boylesque, coming all the way from Munich, Germany. So that will be an extremely rare opportunity.
Well, I mean, I'm definitely coming. So
please do. We're excited to have you
there. I wouldn't miss it for the world. So thank you, Coco, so much.
Thank you so much, Kate.
And this is what she said. Stay with us.